Hi y'all, First Class 1972 signing in. Today we're back working on the 3.0 liter from a 1986 Toyota Supra. Alright, so right now we're going to check the valve lash. So we're going to start off with the exhaust first. So what I like to do is mark it, the exhaust, so we know we're working with the exhaust, and then you just mark over here the intake. Alright, so right now I'm taking out the feeler gauges so that we can begin to get the specs. Alright, so we're going to work with the exhaust. We want to keep it within the 8 to 12 thousandths of an inch range. Okay, as you guys saw in my last video, I calibrated the valves to spec, and I got word from one of the guys that some of the valves were off after they assembled the heads. So let's go ahead and check it out. So here as I'm working, my friend comes and tells me that I can lay the head down to check the clearance because it's already assembled. Plus, it'll be easier to work with, just as long as there's wooden blocks elevating the head, so when you're turning the camshafts, the valves won't force against the workbench and bend. So then he reminds me that once we're done assembling the head, we recheck it because it's different when you have the springs on and everything. This is when you actually get the most precise reading. That's if we didn't miss or mix up any of the lifters or valves when the head was assembled. That's why you want to recheck it one last time, once everything is done, because from here, the head goes over to the engine rebuilder. And he's not going to check any of that, he's just going to install it. That's why after we assemble it, we gotta do that final checkup. So now I can continue where I left off. So what you want is, as long as it goes in easily, you should be fine. Once it doesn't go in at all, it's because it's the previous number that did go in. So like let's say 10 thousandths of an inch is going in smoothly. So then you can move up to 11 thou. Insert it, it's going in smoothly. Same thing goes for this valve. So here we're working on exhaust valves 5 and 6. So then once you put the 12th thou, it's going in. So we're going to move up to 13 thou. So in this case, the 14th thou doesn't go in. So this is 13th thou. Let's try 14th thou over here on valve number 6. Alright, so the 14th thou is going in. Now let's try 15th thou. 15th thou doesn't go in, so it's 14 thousandths of an inch. So when you're checking the valve lash, so you want to make sure that the flat side of the lobe is touching the solid lifter. So you can just see right here, it's perfect. So with the wrench, you can turn the cams. For those of you out there that don't really know what you're doing, like don't be intimidated, because honestly when I started out, I didn't know what I was doing. But I mean, the more you do it, the more you learn, right? You start picking it up like a habit, and then it just becomes second nature. So yeah. So now we're gonna do valves 7 and 8 on the exhaust. So you want to start off with 8 thousandths of an inch, because that's keeping it within spec. Remember, we're doing 8 through 12 thou, so you want to keep it within that range. So the 8 thou is going in. Alright, give me a sec. I'm gonna figure this out right now. So here my friend confirms and tells me that the valve lash measurements that I got came out good. But when the head is assembled, it gives off another measurement. Then he goes ahead and asks if the valve lash measurements that he came up with were good. I told him, yeah, but this one right here came out as 11 thousandths of an inch. But you put 12 thousandths of an inch.
¿Pero el 12?
No.
A ver, ¿cómo?
¿No me crees?
No, pues sí puede ser.
So then I go ahead and insert the 11th thou. And then I go ahead and insert the 12th thou. And yeah, it wouldn't go in. So I was right. Yeah, let's go. So this is where I go ahead and ask my friend if he knows how to drive manual. To which he says, no. Do you? And I say, I want to learn. Then he says, if I drive a manual, it will turn off on me. And I told him, it's because you let go of the clutch too fast, huh? You gotta let it go softly or else it will jump and turn off on you. Then he goes ahead and says that it was difficult for him to even get the car to turn on. He just couldn't. And that's when I tell him that it's because you gotta press the clutch and the brakes. Then he says, but it's possible to learn. And I say, yes, you just have to get used to it. You guys might just see me learn sometime in the future. I mean, who knows? This is so cool because I don't know if you hear the airplane in the background. It's pretty cool to see airplanes take off. Yeah. So I guess like a little side note. So pretty much when I was working on Centerheads, like my friend was pretty much asking me like what was my plan with my camera, like when I first bought it. And I pretty much just told him that I wanted to do something classic car related. But then I also started having interest in capturing wildlife, like a wildlife filmmaker. And these are interests that I still have to this day, and I plan on working towards them. So hopefully soon, y'all. So yeah. Alright, so now we're going to check the intake valve lash. So right here we're looking for 6 to 10 thousandths of an inch. So the 6th thou goes in. A little resistant, but it goes in. So that might just be 6th thou. Let's try 7th thou. Okay, so the 7th thou is not going in on valve number 1, but it fits on valve number 2. So here we got 6th thou. So let's go ahead and write down 6 thousandths of an inch. Alright, so valve number 2, 8th thou is going in. So let's move up to 9 thousandths of an inch. Alright, so since 9 thousandths of an inch doesn't go in, this measures out 8 thousandths of an inch. So yeah. So as you can see, for the intake, the numbers that my friend got after assembling the head are the ones that I crossed out. But then I rechecked it, and this one, I crossed it out because it was actually a 12 thousandths of an inch. But sometimes that happens because the springs can affect the height. Because just with the valves itself, it's going to give you a different measurement. But you obviously want to stay within the range. So here's another one, where instead of 10 thousandths of an inch, I got 11 thou. So yeah, same thing goes for the exhaust side. Just to show you guys, so in this case, this 3.0 cylinder head, So we talked about how the lifters are going to need new shims to compensate for the gap. I'll show you guys later. So yeah, okay. Alright, so this is gonna be the 2.4 turbo 2017 truck. So let's do a thumbnail for this. Right, so when do you guys ever get to see a 2.5 turbo Ford taken apart? That's fucking sick. My friend actually took care of the disassembly and he stripped this thing. But dang, there's so much room to work with in here. It's crazy. So, so here one of the guys was trying to get some parts and I thought it was pretty funny because I'm just here awkwardly trying to take a thumbnail for my video. But yeah. So as you can see, this 4-cylinder head is getting ready to be installed onto the engine. You're looking at a head from a 2017 Ford 2.5 liter engine. Then here we got our crankshaft. I wonder for what car these parts are for. Could be a Ford Fusion. Yeah, these wheels are pretty sick. Maybe one day I'll own one of these trucks, but... Anyway. Alright, so I'm not gonna lie. These Ford trucks are pretty sick, but nothing compared to the classics. That's for sure. So, 1972, coming for you. Okay, so I thought it was pretty cool because it's a forklift. And I honestly never seen the engine inside of these forklifts. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to show you guys how it looks like. So here you got the rocker arms, the valves. You got the valve springs. These are adjustable right here. You got the radiator, the fan, the battery, brand new cables. You got the little air filter, the carburetor down there. Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then I'm assuming that's like the brake pedal and the foot accelerator pedal. But it looks like it's clutch. And you got the 2 stick shifts right here. Pretty cool, pretty vintage. Yeah, it's a little rusty, but I mean, once you fix the engine, I'm sure that thing's gonna run like badass. You got the electrical system right here with connect to the alternator. It's so cool like seeing this because I feel like it's pretty cool when you're bringing stuff back to life. Like, I mean, I'm sure if this was like found somewhere in the barn, somewhere out there, someone would think it's like trash. But I mean, if like that's the fun part about rebuilding engines, because once you know your way around rebuilding engines and working on them, this is like a piece of cake, I feel. Yeah, I mean, restoring one of these is so awesome. So yeah.